When you are old and lonely, do this every day to stay happy and love life. Kitchen clock ticks louder these days, doesn't it? Each second seems to chase the one before it, as if time itself has picked up speed, racing past you while you sit at the table, a cup of tea growing cold in your hands. The house feels different now, too big, too quiet. The walls hold memories of bustling mornings, children's laughter, and the soft murmur of a loved one's voice, but those sounds have faded, leaving only echoes. You're not sure when it happened, when the days started slipping by faster than you could catch them, when loneliness crept in like a shadow you can't shake. Your body feels it too. The mirror shows a face carved with lines of wisdom, but also weariness. Knees creak, hands tremble. And the energy that once carried you through long days now flickers like a candle in the wind. Old age diseases, arthritis, a foggy memory. A heart that flutters, whisper reminders that time isn't just swift, it's unyielding. And yet, there are moments that stop everything: the sudden thrill of a partner's familiar touch after decades together, the burst of joy when an old friend's voice crackles through the phone, the quiet pride of a garden you've tended through seasons. These are the sparks that light up the gray, proving that even as life accelerates and the years pile on, happiness isn't lost, it's waiting, woven into the fabric of your days. I want to sit with you in this moment, not as a stranger, but as someone who sees the beauty in your story, the strength, the love, the quiet courage of growing older. Loneliness doesn't have to own you. Diseases don't have to define you. Time may rush, but you can fill it with meaning, health, and connection. Whether you're growing old alone or hand in hand with someone you adore, there's a rhythm, a daily dance that can keep your heart full and your spirit alive. Picture us together, sharing a porch swing and a pot of coffee, as I tell you how to reclaim joy, stay healthy, and love life, one sunrise at a time. Morning, begin with gratitude and a gentle awakening. The world is soft at dawn, isn't it? The sky blushes pink, the air carries a hush, and even if your bones ache as you stir, this moment belongs to you, before the day sweeps you up, before the news, the worries, the weight of silence. Pause. Take a deep breath and name 3 things you're grateful for. Maybe it's the warmth of your blanket, the scent of rain through the window, or the memory of a dance you shared with someone years ago. They don't need to be grand, just real. I knew a woman named Leela, 89, who'd lost her husband to time and her children to distance. Mornings broke her heart. She said it's too quiet without him. I asked her to try this gratitude ritual, and she rolled her eyes at first. What's there to be thankful for? She grumbled. But the next day, she whispered to herself, the sunrise, her cat's purr, a photo of him smiling. By week's end, she called me, voice trembling with something like hope. I saw a hummingbird today, she said. It felt like he sent it. Gratitude didn't erase her loss, but it painted her mornings with color again, a bridge from loneliness to light. Then move slowly, lovingly. Stretch your arms high, wiggle your fingers, or shuffle to the porch. If you're with someone, hold their hand and sway together, a quiet dance to wake your bodies. If you're alone, step outside and feel the earth beneath you. Doctors say gentle motion fights stiffness, boosts circulation, and wards off frailty. Arthritis hates it, and so does despair. Even 10 minutes a day keeps the body humming. Dr. Sarah Ellis, a geriatric specialist, told me, it's not about youth, it's about today. So rise, not to chase time, but to greet it with grace. Midday, connect deeply and cherish togetherness. Be noon, the quiet can press in, heavy as a winter coat. Push it back, reach out, call a friend, your kids, a neighbor. Share a laugh, a story, or remember when. If you're blessed to grow old with someone, sit together, really sit. Look into their eyes, weathered and wise, and talk about the life you've built. Reminisce about the day you met, the storms you weathered, the silly fights over burnt toast. That connection, whether near or far, is your lifeline. Take it. Anne-Marie, 78 and 76, married 55 years. They'd settled into silence after the kids left, loneliness sneaking in despite their shared roof. One day, Ed dialed an old fishing buddy, just to hear his voice. Marie watched, then picked up the phone herself. Her high school best friend June answered. Soon, they were hosting a little lunch, the 4 of them laughing over trout stories and prom disasters. I forgot how much I love his laugh, Marie told me later, squeezing Ed's hand, and June's too. That day stretched time, filling it with joy instead of hurry. If you've got someone, hold them close. If not, find your Junes, they're out there, waiting. No one nearby, chat with the mailman, smile at the grocer, join a senior club. Small threads of contact weave a blanket against isolation. And it's not just the soul that benefits. Studies show social ties sharpen memory, ease stress, even lower blood pressure. You're not just talking, you're healing. Afternoon, create care, and keep time at by afternoon. Stretch long, tempting you to sink into the recliner and let the hours blur. Don't create, instead. Paint a sunset, even if the colors bleed. Knit a hat, even if it's lopsided. Plant a seed, and watch it reach for the sun. If you're together, build something, a birdhouse, a scrapbook of your years. Creation slows time, fills it with purpose. For Dorothy, 84, it was cookies. Widowed and frail, she baked for the taste, the smell, the memory of her husband's sneaking dough. It's like he's here, she said, eyes shining. One batch became a gift for her neighbor. Then a weekly ritual. She wasn't just baking, she was living. Care for your body, too. Eat a meal that loves you back, salmon with greens, a bowl of oatmeal with berries. Less salt, more flavor herbs, a squeeze of lemon. Nutrition fights disease and fuels joy, says Dr. Raj Patel, a senior health expert. Seniors who eat well stay active longer. Sip water all day. Hydration keeps the mind clear and the joints loose. Take your pills, stretch your back, check your sugar if you need to. These aren't burdens, they're acts of love for the you who's still here. If you're a pair, cook together, bump hips, taste test, laugh at spills. Alone, set the table anyway, light a candle, play a tune. You deserve beauty, not just survival. Evening, reflect, rejoice, and rest in peace. Night falls, and the world hushes. Don't let it swallow you, shape it. Sit with your thoughts, maybe a warm drink, and look back. What sparked joy today? The friends call. The cookies crunch. If you're together, share it aloud. Ed and Marie do this, giggling over tiny victories. Alone, whisper it to yourself or write it down. Then look ahead. What's tomorrow's gift? A walk, a song. This anchors you, slows the rush. Rejoice in you, both of you, or just you. Stand before the mirror and say, we've made it this far, or I'm still me. You've danced through decades, weathered losses, raised lives. Time hasn't stolen that. If you're together, hold each other, feel the heartbeat that's shared your story. Alone, hug yourself, you're a survivor, a lover of life. Rest comes last. Wind down with a book, a prayer, a memory. If sleep dodges you, and it often does with age, picture a place you've loved, a beach, a porch, a partner's arms. Leela imagines her husband's garden, Ed and Marie hum an old waltz. Sleep is an escape, it's a recharge for tomorrow's light. Good rest cuts stress and boosts immunity, Dr. Ellis says. It's your body's reset, so drift, knowing you've lived today well. The heartbeat of it, love life. Every fleeting daytime flies faster now, yes. Diseases linger, loneliness knocks, and the world spins on. But you're not a passenger, you're the driver. Alone or together, you hold the power to fill these swift days with happiness, health, and love. Leela found her hummingbird, Ed and Marie found their laughter, Dorothy found her cookies, and you'll find your spark, too. Start tomorrow. Wake with thanks, connect with love, create with passion, care with intention, rest with peace. You're not just aging, you're thriving. Whether it's a hand to hold or your own brave heart, you've got everything you need to love life. The years may rush, but they're yours, every beautiful, fleeting one. These 5 common Ed mistakes could be ruining your health. Here's how to fix them. That sits there on your counter, small and unassuming, a quiet staple of your mornings. You crack it into the pan, the yolk spilling golden, the sizzle filling your kitchen with a promise of comfort. It's been that way for years, decades, even since you scrambled eggs for your kids, poached them for your spouse, or boiled them for a quick lunch. Eggs are simple, familiar, a little piece of home. But what if the way you've been handling them all this time, the way you store them, cook them, even touch them, has been silently chipping away at your health? It's a hard thought to swallow. You're not alone in it, though. Millions of us make these mistakes every day, especially as we get older, when our bodies aren't as forgiving as they once were. A tiny slip like leaving eggs out too long or cooking them wrong can open the door to food poisoning, strip away precious nutrients, or even expose you to harmful toxins. For seniors, the stakes feel higher. A bout of salmonella hits harder when your immune system's not what it used to be, and every bite matters when you're trying to stay strong and sharp. I've seen it firsthand. My neighbor Clara, 78, landed in the hospital last year after a plate of runny eggs turned her world upside down. Fever, chills, a week in bed she didn't deserve. She'd always cooked them that way, she told me later, her voice shaky with regret. I didn't know, she said. Neither did I, until I started digging. What I found wasn't just alarming, it was a wake-up call. But here's the good news, you don't have to swear off eggs or live in fear. You just need to know the pitfalls and how to sidestep them. Let's walk through these 5 common egg mistakes together, like we're sitting at your table with a cup of coffee, figuring it out step by step. I'll show you what's going wrong, why it matters, and how to keep eggs as the healthy, happy part of your day they're meant to be, because you deserve to feel good not just today, but every day. Mistake number 1, storing eggs on the counter or the wrong part of the fridge. You've seen those charming kitchen setups in old movies, eggs in a wire basket on the counter, ready for a rustic breakfast. Maybe you've done it yourself, thinking it's fine, even practical. Or maybe you toss them in the fridge door, where they jostle every time you grab the milk. Either way, you're rolling the dice and the odds aren't in your favor. Eggs left at room temperature are a breeding ground for bacteria like salmonella. That thin shell, it's not a fortress, it's porous, and if bacteria is present, say, from a dirty hen house, warmth speeds up its growth. In the U.S., eggs aren't washed with the same sterilizing rigor as in some countries, so that risk lingers. Dr. Emily Hart, a food safety expert, told me, above for off, bacteria can double every 20 minutes. An egg on the counter for 2 hours is a petri dish. For seniors whose immune systems weaken with age, a salmonella infection isn't just a stomachache, it's a trip to their dehydration, or worse. The fridge door's no hero either. Those temperature swings, cold, warm, cold, stress the shell, making it crack easier and letting bacteria slip in. Plus, the jostling can weaken the membrane inside, where nutrients like protein and B12 live, risking spoilage. Fix it. Store eggs in their carton on a middle fridge shelf, where it's a steady 35 for off. The carton shields them from light and bumps, keeping bacteria at bay and nutrients intact. Clara switched after her scare. Her eggs stay chilled now, and she's back to her sunny side ups. Worry-free. Mistake number 2, cracking eggs and ignoring the shell. You tap the egg on the bowl's edge, split it open, and let it slide in. Quick, easy, done. But did you check the shell first? A faint crack, a smudge of dirt, a feather stuck on those are red flags you might miss. And once that shell breaks, anything on it can hitch a right into your food. Salmonella loves shell surfaces, especially if eggs aren't washed properly at the farm. A crack lets it seep inside, and your fingers brushing that dirty shell can spread it to your counter, your toast, your mouth. Then there's the yolk. Overhandling cracked eggs can rupture its membrane, leaking choline and omega-3 south into the sink instead of your body. For seniors, those nutrients are gold. Choline keeps your brain sharp, omega-3 south ease joint pain. Losing them is like tossing out a lifeline. I learned this the hard way with my Uncle Ray, 82. He'd crack eggs with abandon, never washing his hands after, until a bout of food poisoning left him weak for weeks. I thought I was invincible. He laughed later, rueful. He wasn't, but he's careful now. Fix it. Inspect eggs before you crack. Toss any with cracks or dirt. Wash your hands after handling, and wipe your counter. Crack on a flat surface, less shell shatter, and cook right away. Ray's back to his omelets, and his kitchen's a safer place. Mistake number 3, cooking eggs too little or too much. Runny yolks dripping over toast heaven, right? Or maybe you like them hard-boiled, a firm little package of protein, but get it wrong. And you're either flirting with bacteria or frying away the good stuff. Undercooked eggs yolks still liquid, whites barely set, can harbor salmonella if it's there. 1 in 20,000 eggs carries it. says the FDA. And for seniors, that's a risk not worth taking. A 2019 study found older adults are twice as likely to get sick from it, and recovery's slower. Overcooking's no saint either. Scorch those eggs in a hot pan too long, and you're not just left with rubber, you're losing vitamins and D. Heat-sensitive nutrients that keep your eyes bright and bones strong. Toxins creep in. 2. Overheated fats in the yolk oxidize, forming compounds linked to inflammation. Balance is key, Dr. Hart says. Safe, but not charred. Fix it. Cook eggs to 160 if yolks firm but not rock hard. Whites fully set. A thermometer's your friend, or aim for 4 to 5 minutes scrambling, 6 to 7 boiling, if you love runny yolks. Buy pasteurized eggs heat treated to kill bacteria, safe to savor. Clara's mastered this now. Her eggs are golden, not risky. Mistake number 4, not checking for freshness. The carton's been in the fridge a while, weeks, maybe months. You figure eggs last forever, right? Not quite. Old eggs aren't just stale, they're trouble. Their pocket inside grows as they age, thinning the white and yolk. Nutrients fade, protein breaks down, B12 dwindles, and bacteria, if present, multiply. A funky smell or cracked yolk might tip you off, but sometimes you don't know until you're sick. My friend Helen, 75, learned this when she baked a quiche from eggs past their prime. They looked fine, she said, but the next day, she was doubled over, cursing her thriftiness. Old eggs won't always poison you, but they're a gamble, especially when your body's less equipped to fight back. Fix it. Check the sell-by date. Eggs are good 3 to 5 weeks past it if refrigerated. Or test, float them in water. Fresh eggs sink, old ones bob. Use the old ones for hard boiling, easier peeling. But pitch anything over 2 months. Helen's quiches are flawless now, she checks every time. Mistake number 5, ignoring cross-contamination. You crack eggs, whisk them, toss the shells, and move on. Hands unwashed, bowl dripping, sponge untouched. It's a small oversight, but a big trap. Salmonella from shells can leap to your cutting board, your sink, your sandwich. Toxins from a dirty fridge shelf, say. Leaky chicken juice can tag along too. For seniors, this isn't just messy, it's a health hazard. A weakened gut or slower reflexes mean a tiny slip can spiral fast. I saw this with my Aunt Grace, 80. She'd whip up egg salad, leaving yolk smears everywhere, until a nasty bug laid her low. I didn't think it mattered, she admitted. It did, and it does. Fix it. Wash hands, utensils, and surfaces after egg contact. Hot water, soap, done. Store eggs away from raw meat in the fridge. Grace's kitchen's spotless now, and she's back to her recipes, fearless. The takeaway: eggs can stay your friend. Eggs don't have to betray you. They're packed with protein to keep your muscles strong, choline for your memory, lutein for your eyes, gifts for a body that's carried you this far. Avoid these mistakes, and they'll nourish you, not hurt you. Store them cold, check them close, cook them right, keep them fresh, clean up well. Clara's thriving, Ray's cautious, Helen's precise, Grace's meticulous, and you can be too. Next time you crack an egg, let it feel like a small victory. You're not just cooking, you're caring for yourself. One smart choice at a time. That's not just health, that's love.